Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored by Spiegel Law PC, 516-873-1683, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reister's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan and Norm. Well, great to be back in the studio.
Beautiful outside.
Yeah, you know what? It's finally nice. And
ice is melting.
Welcome, everyone, to This Week in West Hempstead, February 11th, in case anyone's keeping track. Yeah, I think people have been sort of, hibernating for the last 2 weeks. And finally, even the birds are out. Yeah. And I had seen this poor squirrel, just kind of walking around, wandering, begging for food. Poor guy didn't, squirrel his
Step
nuts
by my
away.
wife's
By the way,
house. She's definitely feeding him.
Who would be thinking that 36 degrees would be like, oh my God, it's so nice out there?
Yeah, it really is.
It's sweater weather. What do you mean?
You want to celebrate. I mean, you know what? And it still looks like a battle zone out there. There's, mounds
crazy.
of snow everywhere. And these things are hard as rocks because they're it's probably going to take still a week or two.
Yeah, a couple of weeks it'll all be gone, and then we'll miss it.
Yeah,
You won't miss it.
I don't know if I'll miss it. Listen, a lot of people, had some real issues with the plumbing and with frozen pipes.
That's a nightmare.
I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. You leave every faucet had a drip in it. I'm praying to the heat gods.
Hey, your plumbing's fine, but your water bill is going to kill you.
Oh, the bill, forget about it. And one of the plumbers had said that you should turn your heat up, in this to kind of keep the whole house warm. It keeps I don't even want to see what the bill's going to look like. It's going to be insane.
Everybody's taking a hit on heating this year.
But what are you going to do?
Nothing. No choice.
It's wintertime.
No choice.
Anyway.
Yeah. By the way, one of my neighbors has still got these gigantic icicles coming off of his gutters and things, and I'm like, you should probably knock those down because I don't know what's going to happen.
No, I do that as well. You have these ice dams, and you don't get any drainage off your roof, and it just overflows. It's a mess. It's got nowhere to go. It's frozen all the way down to the bottom.
And the other thing that I see is that people that live by fire hydrants and mailboxes and stuff like that, they have obligations to kind of clear that area out. And in a lot of cases, I don't see it. So, it's you get a fire, and you see on the news, you see the fire, and then they're trying to hook up and get to the hydrants, and they just have problems.
It's the same problem with the stores. The crosswalks need to be done as well.
Yeah. So it just is an interesting side note. Apparently, they're going to have ice skating at McDonald Park.
They've been doing it all week.
Hempstead Lake. Yeah, between 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Now, I don't know, with 40-degree weather,
it doesn't matter. They tested it. I saw a test on TV. 6 inches deep. The ice. You could drive a car on that.
The other thing also is it's like
we're not giving you ideas here, folks. Don't drive cars on it.
Yeah, drive a car. I want to see how that works out.
This specific, McDonald Park, pond, which is a relatively small pond, it's maybe 1 or 2 feet deep. There's nothing there.
Right.
It's
like Hall's Pond.
Yeah. So I saw someone had taken to Facebook looking for someone to help, to go play hockey there.
I don't have ice skates anymore. You will need to bring your own ice skates if you want to go out there.
Yeah, some entrepreneur go out and have a ice rental business. So, so it's exciting, warm up, but you can still do ice skating. Do not go to Hall's Pond, as we've seen, several times, people playing hockey there and ice skating. There you can tell 100%. You can see half of it is water, so you got to be careful.
Well, in the park, they did a smart thing. They put some rescue material there. Life preservers, ropes, things that could help people should they fall through. So
they're going to need shovels to dig themselves out of the mud. Is what they're going to need.
Life preservers, they just can walk their way out. Anyway, there was a school board meeting yesterday. I actually have nothing to report because I wasn't there.
Right.
I went online. They usually post the videos, but they didn't post it yet. So I got nothing to report.
We can report that we have no idea what the Diamond Charter School discussions were.
Well, that's so.
I don't know.
I mean, again, who knows what's going on with the charter school? We got to get to the bottom of it. We got to speak to the people at the charter school. We got to speak to the people in the West Hempstead School District. Is this a plus? Is this a minus? Yep. You know, there's still a lot of questions regarding that issue.
Well, if you need to renew your driver's license or your registration, time to wake up.
Yeah, this was interesting.
I never saw this before.
Yeah, the DMV is closing early February 13th, and they're not going to be reopened until February 18th. So, you know, if this was the time you were like waiting to go do your real ID or whatever, you know, if you had a car registration issue, you're out of luck. So apparently they're doing a major upgrade, and they're going to be down.
They're going to bring their systems into the 19th century or something.
Yeah, I was wondering like what exactly is
I will tell you one DMV story that happened during COVID, right? So my license expired during COVID, and they were like, okay, you know, everything's shut down. You can't do anything about it. You keep driving with it for a while. So I went in to try and get it updated, and I was going to get the real ID, and I went online, and I double-checked, and I called somebody, and they said, sure, no problem. And I go in there, and the guy's like, oh, we can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do that? Oh, no, some guy in Albany. I'm like, you just have to say, here's the extra $10, give him the other one. Yeah. So maybe this upgrade is going to make that easier.
Listen, it can only improve things. And again, every 20, 30, 50 years, upgrading computers probably not a bad thing.
I predict software bedlam for the first week.
Listen, I predict as always that I will continue to go to AAA. I can't stand the DMV. I have no time. They can do everything that you need at AAA. It's a much, much more pleasant experience.
Absolutely.
All right, Norm,
take a break.
Let's take a quick break.
All right, hang on a second. If you wait, I can actually get the commercial up, and then we'll be.
Oh, come on, Dan. Let's.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wenger, owner and operator of Tiffany Dry Cleaners. We've made things even easier. Schedule a cleaning pickup just with one click on our new app or website. And don't forget, we offer free pickup, delivery right to your door. Tiffany Dry Cleaners gets it just right.
So this was a pretty good story. Dan, you remember we interviewed Olena Nicks for county legislator.
We did before the election, yep.
For the election, and I was driving in the road, and I'm listening to 1010 Wins. And I hear her, and she's what is she talking about? She's proposing that they have a 311 system in Nassau County, just like they have in New York City and in Suffolk County. By the way, I didn't even know that they didn't have a 311 system.
I didn't either.
So it certainly makes a lot of sense. So that would mean that like every time you got like a minor thing, you got to call 911. And that seems like an overload of a system that should really be just for emergencies.
Didn't the town of Hempstead have a number? Was there a 611 or something like that?
No.
No? They never had one?
They have the 811, I think, is for, like, don't dig here unless you've checked for, like, hidden pipes and electrical things and stuff. But I don't think we had this kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. And, it's really great to see that Olena is... she's out there.
Creative.
She's creative. And also, I remember from the interview, she's an emergency first responder. So she has a lot of firsthand experience of what it means to have an emergency, but also how to kind of move those other calls away. Sure. Yeah, the other thing is also, just as a complete side note, just popped into my head, there's all this AI out there that's now answering calls and doing things. Half of the time you're talking to people, you don't even realize you're talking to a real dummy. Well, it could be the person as well, but whatever. It's an electronic dummy. Why couldn't they do the same thing, like add AI component to emergency calls to redirect?
Probably because it slows it down. You really don't belong on a 911 call unless it's really a dire emergency, a medical emergency. Anything short of that, you need to go look up the number. So having 311 is a great idea.
Right. And also, you do want to talk to someone in case of an emergency, but I predict that at some point, who knows when, there will be AI answering even emergency calls and directing people whatever.
My only concern about this, and look, why not if there's a place and it will actually get people to do things? My concern is, one, that this is going to have a cost, right? It's going to, I don't know how many, whether it's thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, who knows? And the other question is, and God bless county work here, half the time you call up, you can't get anything done. So if it's just going to be another place to make a phone call and nothing happens, let's see what happens.
I mean, I would argue that a 311 call actually might save money because, again, you're not having people that work for the police department necessarily answering this. You could have a lower level type of thing. Maybe even you could add an AI element so that it routes calls appropriately. I don't know. It's
true. It'd only take a couple of seconds to give you a choice between fire, police, or road work.
I think at the end of the day, it's a great idea. They should have had it all along. I thought they had it all along. What do I know? And there you go. So great for Olena Nicks for picking up the ball and running with it. So in the world of community events, the Young Israel West Hempstead is having a family hockey outing. It's the Bruce Wenger Youth Department is hosting a family fun outing at UBS Arena on February 22nd at 5 p.m., featuring the Elite Israel Hockey League, Tel Aviv versus Jerusalem. Should be great. I didn't even know they even had ice skating rinks in the Middle East.
They do. There's one up way up north, and there's at least a couple others sprinkled around. I suspect you're going to find a fair number of both Canadian and former Soviet Union transplants playing on these teams. But why not? Let's get some Israeli hockey going.
Let's do it. So this story was on the police blotter. There was a robbery that took place January 31st at Wells Fargo Bank on Fulton Avenue, and the suspect made away with $2,000. But they ended up capturing the person, and he's being arraigned, and all that good stuff. But there was a couple of weird pieces to this story. Number one,
simulating a weapon.
Yeah, simulating the weapon.
I mean, what is that? You do this and you go, give me the money.
Yeah, I guess it like in the old way, you put it like
don't make me shoot
under your shirt, and like you're faking it out. Back in the day, Woody Allen had a movie, Take the Money and Run. Now I'm really going back in the day.
This is one of my favorite scenes. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
And he's trying to break out of jail, and he takes a bar of soap, and he carves it meticulously to make it look like a gun. Right. And he goes up to he goes up to the warden or to the guard, and he's like, I got a gun on it. And they look at it. Meanwhile, it's raining outside. He's holding suds. It was
turning into suds.
Such a great scene.
My favorite scene is, I think it's the same movie where he goes over to a jewelry store and he's trying to break in. So he cuts out a center of the glass in the front of the store and then runs off with the piece of glass to try and sell it. Just brilliant.
For anyone who wants to know what we're talking about,
go back in time about 40 years.
You can probably get it on Netflix.
Anyway, what was the other thing that surprised you about this?
So the bank teller was like 78 years old or 72. I don't know. It was like, it sounded like she was like really old. Older to be a bank teller. I was just surprised.
People still have to work. I will tell you that I have used this bank more than once. It's the one across the street from the Home Depot over there. But my question about this is the same as it always is. What are you willing to go to jail for? Like the idea that this guy is fully prepared to go to jail for $2,000, which isn't going to pay for his heating bill in the current days. I just don't understand it. I've always said,
what do you want him to do? Upgrade to a bigger number? I mean, he doesn't know what's in the drawer. And first of all, this guy can't even afford a real gun, so he's doing the best he can. Cut him some slack, man.
I really should. Listen, my view of this always is, if you're going to go to jail for Madoff money. Don't go to jail for $2,000.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So that wrapped up. And, by the way, the Home Depot, and I think I may have mentioned this, in some prior show, there's no more like workers outside, sort of, whatever. I guess ICE really does have an impact on the community. Again, you could argue positive, negative of having that, but, for years it's been acceptable that you drive up to Home Depot and there's just like,
help.
there's groups of, 4 or 5 guys, all over the place. It's all cleared out. There's no one there anymore.
Yeah, but you think about it. These guys, this isn't drug money for these guys. They're feeding their families. How are they feeding their families now?
Yeah, but they're organized with an app or what? Listen, I don't know.
I will say, look, I don't know if this is recent, just because, again, if it's like 20 below with the wind chill, I wouldn't want to be standing out there all day either. I will say I saw something nationally that border stoppages along the southern border of the U.S. are down by like a factor of like 20. So it's having an impact, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, driving around in all this weather and my windows get so full of like the schmutz, the dirt, the ice, the salt, and all that stuff.
That's dirt for those of you not from 1920s Brownsville.
Yeah, and the question is like, where do you go for a car wash? Now, first of all, as soon as you get your car washed and then you go back on the road, it's going to get dirty again. So like why bother? But if you're someone who's like really into their car and it's full of all sorts of chemicals that are bad, West Hempstead has a whole variety of car washes. So
I didn't even know about all of these.
Yeah, people took to social media and they mentioned, a whole bunch. I think after 7 p.m., most of them you can drive
Exterior
through.
only.
And you got the one on Woodfield, you got Harry's on Woodfield, and then you got the one by the Westminster and the whole housing development. There's Elmont has a 24/7 Sunrise Highway, and Ocean Avenue and Rockville Center is a real fancy one.
Yeah.
So there's
Lots
a
of
lot
opportunity.
of. I like the one Harry's where you just drive through and you get like a whole laser light show. For the price of it. I think it's pretty cool.
Where is Harry's?
Harry's is all the way at the end of Woodfield.
The end.
Right
Down
at the
at
end.
Lakeview
Where the collision
Road over
places
there.
are?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
right
I gotta
over
try
there.
that. I wonder what the difference in cost is between all these guys. I know the one that's on Sunrise Highway is very expensive.
Yeah, they're all like during the day about like $25, and
Sounds
but
right.
again, various. To me, I don't really care. You know what? A car's a car. But if you can't see out your windows, I see these people driving with like. It looks like they've come out of like the Baja rally race with mud all over the place, and it's like, how do they even see out their windows? Yeah. I don't even get it.
Well, they're busy looking at their phones anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It's okay. So back to West Hempstead and back
Black History Month at the library, right?
Yeah, they have a whole area curated for Black History Month. And it's great. They do this for all the holidays.
Yeah, they're really good about that. The children's rooms, the adult stuff, they're always putting stuff out like reading related to whatever holiday's coming out. So they're really good about that.
And Dan, you would be happy to know that I actually downloaded this app called Libby app, which I guess is Nassau County or maybe it's national. Who the hell knows what? And you could rent or you can take out books electronically
And pay for it how?
No, you just read for free. Well, you'd have to
set
go.
them up.
You have to
I set them up so perfectly.
and I didn't swing and miss. Yeah, you have to go into the library and give them some. No, it's a free thing. Yeah,
it's a great idea.
It's great.
Yeah.
I like it. I did it on my iPad. I got to see nice big letters and all this. I rented a horrible book, but that was.
So if my wife is watching still at this point, this is your section because she's always interested in the library updates from David.
Yeah, no, Libby's 2 thumbs up, very easy. You just put in your library number. It identifies you right away. You can download. And it's a really solid experience,
Yep.
and especially if you go.
By the way, if you're a New York State resident, you can get a New York Public Library as well.
Yeah.
So if they don't have the books you want on the Nassau County one, you can also get from there as well. You just need to go into an actual library in New York City, which I had to do because mine had expired. So, but you can get books from all over the place.
All right. Well, so switching gears, we're kind of loosely covering what's going on with Bruce Blakeman and running for governor. He's announced a running mate, Fulton County Sheriff Richard Giardino, and seems like he's a guy you don't want to mess around with, the police, person. And
well, they must know him very well upstate, and he needs that upstate recognition.
Well, he needs the votes upstate because downstate, New York City is still Democrat. He's got a tough road ahead. Numbers are not heading in his favor.
I think he's behind by about 20% so far.
But he's got a deep war chest. It's gonna be interesting. We'll keep schmoozing about it as long as we can.
And for anybody wondering, Fulton County is kind of central New York State, not too far from Saratoga and Schenectady, and Cooperstown's not too far away.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering where this is, I know for most of us in New York City, everything north of Westchester County is upstate, but that's where it's from.
Yeah, and again, he's just running on borders and security, and to keep New York State safe, and we'll see what happens. I think that's it. I didn't once mention bagels, or the people are still losing their crap about. Where do I go get bagels? There's no bagel town, whatever. And it's like, what? You got places to go. One of the places is Reisterers, and they have a variety. They got lox and cream cheese, and they got scallion cream cheese, and they got vegetable cream cheese. They got great bagels, and they got plenty of parking. No mounds of snow that you got to traverse.
They have a great parking lot, yep.
And they make it nice and easy. And there's other places in the community, too. For those people who have to drive, a half hour to get bagels, good for you. Gay Gesundheit. So listen, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week in West Hempstead.
Certainly should.
For those few who are still left with us, and join us next week as we break down bagels and a whole lot more.
Have a great time.
All right. Be well.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to visit our sponsors, Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reister's Bakery. To find out more or to reach out to us, come visit us on social media at Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at westhempsteadecho.com.